title of his speech is What's the Lesson? Please welcome Brian.
Well, it's 5:55 in the morning a.m. in Chicago, and I was driving to pick up a coworker that I had never met before. So she worked in the Boston office, and she was a director. I talked to her on the phone. I was excited to meet her, and I wanted to make a good impression. And from there, we were going to go pick up a vice president that I had never met in person too. So I was like really ready to make a good impression. I cleaned out the car the night before. It was perfect. Drove down, picked her up. She got in the car, and Christina is she's really cute. She's kind of got a bob. She's got like 50s type dress style, like you'd see in Bucktown or something. And she's just a lot of fun to talk to. So right off the bat, we started talking, right? Start driving away, and you know that Ohio exit here in the city? Jumped on the highway, headed down 94, and we were cruising. I was glad we weren't going south because the traffic in that direction was just totally booked up. So we're heading down. About 20 minutes later, we're talking the whole time. I was connecting with her. We're talking about work, different stuff. All of a sudden, I had this sinking feeling in my stomach. Couldn't remember when I came up to the 90-94 junction. Yep, I had been heading the wrong direction for 20 minutes. And we're going to pick up this vice president. I said to Christina, I think we've been going in the wrong direction. I've lived in Chicago for 13 years. I can only imagine what she was thinking about me, about my intelligence. I got off the highway and she said, does this mean we're going to have to sit in that traffic all the way back? So not only had I gone the wrong direction for 20 minutes, but it was probably an hour back to get where we started. Have you ever seen that Southwest commercial? Their tagline is, wanna get away? That's all I could think about. Wanna get away? Wanna get away? Is there some way I could get away? Oh man, I just wanted to be teletransported out of that car to somewhere else. Anywhere but in that car was someone I wanted to impress who I had never met before. And it didn't make matters any better that we were just slowly sitting there in traffic, moving. It's only one thing I could think about. How do you change the conversation? It's like, geez, how about this traffic? So we called the vice president, and she let me off the hook. Luckily, she said, hey, we're sitting in some bad traffic. She never mentioned the fact that the reason we were sitting in traffic. And I thought back on this, like, what's the lesson I could learn from this whole event, right? And there's definitely things I could have done better. I'm typically not very good with directions, so I probably should have just calmed the conversation down for the first couple minutes to focus, really get my focus on the directions. There's a bunch of little things I could have done. I probably should have checked in. But sometimes, stuff happens. If this is not Toastmasters, it would be a different thing. But stuff happens. And sometimes you just gotta deal with it, right? You gotta take it and move on. And you wish you could be a ninja, battle your way out of it. But one day it's like your mom's cooking, and you're saying, hey mom, what's for dinner? She says, oh, it's a filet mignon. And that's most days. You say, hey mom, what's for dinner? Tonight, it's humble pie. And that's what I was eating that day. So a big, big piece of humble pie. And you just gotta take it. You ever have those things you wish you could just get away in? You had any of those events? Maybe you've had a couple up here. Maybe a tough table topics. We had a couple of tough ones today. Want to get away? You got to take that humble pie. It seems like the better you get, the harder it is to take that humble pie. It's like, man, I thought I was getting good. Oh, now I got to swallow this meal. So, when you come up on those experiences, which you're destined to have, and I know I will have plenty more of, try to take them in stride and move on.